2.2, power functions with modeling. Don't y'all just love all these with modeling sections?
Honestly, I thought I wrote with molding on top of it.
I hope not.
Potter's class.
Oh, I was thinking like mold on bread.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, ew.
That's why I was like, what? Alright, determine whether the function is a power function given that c, g, k, and pi represent constants. Well, pi is always a constant. For those that are power functions, state the power and constant of variation. Number 2, f of x is equal to 9x to the 5/3. Is this a power function?
I think so.
You know
Yeah.
what? I'm saying it is.
Yes. What is the power?
5/3.
And what is the constant of variation?
9.
For f of x is equal to 13. I'm gonna check something really fast.
Does the one count?
I say, I'm just gonna say, like a power function and it's the 1 power and constant is 13.
Okay, I thought I was going crazy. There's only one problem in this entire section that's not a power function. I thought I was going crazy because I was like, there's no way these all are. No, they really are. So it is a power function. What is the power though?
One.
It's what?
One. No. That makes it 0.
No, 1 would make it 13.
0 makes it. That's the thing. Never mind.
1 would keep it at 13.
Oh.
That it has to be on a variable for it to be a power function.
1 over 1.
Or like,
I mean,
it has to, like,
there should be like an X.
there would have to be a
Zero.
variable.
Okay,
So, yes. That's what I'm trying to say. I was like,
Just keep going. Just keep going.
x to what power would give me 13?
Okay, so it's 0.
Yes. I was like, what I just said made no sense, but you knew what I meant. So then the constant of variation is 13. Because this is like 13x to the 0, basically. 6 ke of v is equal to 1/2 kv to the 5th. And just to reiterate, c, g, k, and pi are constants. So is this a power function?
Yes.
What is the power?
5.
Constant of variation?
1/2 k.
1/2 k, because k is a constant. So if they tell us a letter is a constant, we also want to include that. And 10. F of A is equal to m times A. Anybody recognize what that is?
Something about force. I was wondering why it was F of A and then
It's
C capital
Newton's
F.
second law of motion. All right, is this a power function?
No. Yes.
What were the constants again?
Determine whether the function is a power function given that c, g, k, and pi represent constants. For those that are power functions, state the power and constant of variation.
So no.
Well, okay.
They've thrown 2 variables at us.
Yeah, but what does this say?
F of A.
Which means what?
M
A
is
is
the variable.
X.
A is X, so A is the variable.
Oh. A.
That's why I was like, hold on, let me go back and read what they said. So, power is what? What's the power on A?
1.
1.
Hate this game.
Constant of variation is M. I was gonna do for Harvest Fest. I was gonna do like around the world and like let y'all like earn candy. But then I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that with pre-cal.
Please don't. I will not win. I will not get any candy.
Well, I'll give you all my candy because I'm not allowed to eat them
Josh
anyways.
can just get all of it and we can split it.
You're not allowed to eat it like ever, or just because you have a meet
Because I
on
have a
Thursday.
meat.
Gavin doesn't like candy, so I just get
What?
it. So you can save See, that's crazy.
Why would I
Gavin
save it? I'm not
doesn't
going
like
to eat them
candy.
anyways.
None.
Well,
Like, not like.
sometimes. And that's it.
Does he just not eat sugar?
No. Well, okay. He likes like.
Like, or will he like brownies and cookies and stuff, or not really?
He doesn't really like brownies. He likes cookies a lot, and he loves ice cream. He's iffy about cake. It's weird.
Kenny doesn't really like cake either.
Gavin's more of a carbs kid. He's less sugar. Give him all the carbs. So all the chicken
Sugars
nuggets, all
are
the bread,
carbs,
all the
Riley.
that kind of stuff.
Sugars are carbs.
You know what I meant?
Different kind of
Oh, I know.
carbs.
Yeah.
Bread carbs.
Bread carbs.
I love bread. It's so tasty.
All right.
Right now.
Determine whether the function is a monomial function given that L and pi represent constants. For those that are monomial functions, state the degree and leading coefficient. For those that are not, explain why not. That was a lot.
Yeah.
12, f of x is equal to 3x to the negative 5. I'll read the instructions again. Determine whether the function is a monomial function given that L and pi represent constants. For those that are monomial functions, state the degree and leading coefficient. If they are not, explain why not.
I already forgot most of that. Sorry.
I think it.
Basically, if there's a negative exponent, it's not a monomial function.
You said that as I was literally starting to speak up and say, I think it is.
And it also, if there's a variable in the exponent, so like with the first set of problems we did, if any of the problems that had a variable as an exponent, they would have not been power functions. That was the difference. So this is not monomial because of a negative exponent. (14) y equals negative 2 times 5 to the x. Riley?
Yes, it is 1. It doesn't have it. Dang it, no it's not. Because it's a variable as an exponent.
Not monomial. Because variable as an exponent. (16) a equals L times W. Is this monomial?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's monomial.
Okay, what is the degree?
I'm gonna say
The degree is the power.
right.
1. And the leading coefficient is L. Because L was a constant. Write the statement as a power function equation. Use K for the constant of variation if one is not given. 18. The volume V of a circular cylinder with fixed height is proportional to the square of its radius r. Now, in general, what do we know about the volume of a right circular cylinder, or a circular cylinder, I guess with fixed height is technically what I should say.
So do you want like the formula? V equals pi r squared h.
Pi r squared h, okay?
Oh.
But does it specify any constants for us?
Yes. The height.
Well, it tells us that it's fixed, but does it specify what constant to use?
The square of its radius.
No.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so it told us to use the letter K for that, so the actual answer to this is going to be V is equal to KR squared, because K is the constant value that goes in front of it.
Where did the pi go?
With K.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a hint for 19. It's basically just, well, it's similar to this, but you're not going to know the formula that it goes with. The formula for 19 that you'll need, now this isn't the answer, but V equals IR, because it's for electric current. The only problems that you will need out of this little chunk of word problems are the odd problems, other than the one that I just did for you, volume. Okay. So if you can do those, you should be okay. Those are all pretty easy. 21, you might have to do a little research because you probably don't know that formula, but I can't just give you the formula because it gives you the answer. But you might be able to figure it out. All right, write a sentence that expresses the relationship in the formula using the language of variation or proportion. So 24, C is equal to pi d, and it says where C and D are the circumference and diameter of the circle and pi is its usual mathematical constant. So we don't need to write all that. That's just basically informing us of what we already know. So basically, they want us to say if it's proportional or if it's like direct variation. So this one is going to be proportional because it is like something being multiplied by something else. If you change one, it's going to change the other as well. So like it's like proportionally changing. So we would officially say the circumference C of a circle is proportional, so that's the key word there, to its diameter, d, with the constant of variation, pi. Then 26, D is equal to P squared over 2G. Now, just more of an FYI, should you happen to take physics, G is equal to 9.81 meters per second squared. Just a fun fact. Or 32 feet per second. Where D is the distance traveled by a free-falling object dropped from rest, P is the speed of the object, and G is the constant of acceleration due to gravity, which is that mainly why I'm telling you, so you know it's constant. So this one is basically a fraction over there, so it's being divided, and so this one is going to vary directly, and so we would say for this one, the distance D traveled by a free-falling object dropped from rest varies directly, which is the keywords there, with the square of its speed is P, with the constant of variation 1 over 2G. I wouldn't stress out about those problems too much if you're like confused. As long as you can say like proportional or varies directly, like you should be fine. And I've tried to give you two that are similar to these two. So, all right, normally with this section, I say 1 through 25 odd. I'm going to tell you, you don't necessarily need to do every single odd problem until you really get down to 17. Then I would do them. But I would say 1 through 15, just pick a couple and make sure you know. See if you can find the one in 1 through 10 that is not a power function. There's only one, and it's one of the odd ones. So see if you can find that one, and then just make sure you kind of generally know what to do with those. You don't really need to do more than like 2 of them probably. But then make sure you do all the ones that are like 17 through 26, because those are the odd ones that I could pull from for the quiz or test. So.